happened in Arnab Ghosh. Now this matter will be kept pending for another time to say that we have filed an application which is considering. My lords, in Bhagwan as well as in the Bihar matter, the same beliefs were asked.
None of you want to really argue the matter. Maybe the petitioner wants to argue, the other side doesn't want to argue. Now,
we
in
want
such a
to argue.
situation, it's
No,
very difficult
we
to
are ready
conduct.
to argue, my lords. We are ready to argue.
No,
We are ready
no.
to argue.
No, there has to be a consensus so far as readiness is concerned. The moment
There can't be a consensus in this.
it's very difficult to hear.
No, my lord would have to take a strict view. There can't be a consensus because they are sitting on the job.
We will see the bona fides of the state government on the next. We'll write down in the order that they are repeatedly trying to defer the matter, and we'll say that. And it does not appear that their actions are bona fide, but yet we are granting them time to seek a clarification. We'll say that and we'll post it next week.
Please see the that is not time. I beg to be excused for that. Lord, please see time constraint this year. I'm not at all for the state government. I have been always charging.
No, the blame is on the state government, not on you.
That will show the order in the Supreme Court.
Then get at the Honorable Supreme Court with my law drawing on the one side. I was making submission, they moved the application today itself. Last occasion, the application was moved on the very same day. This is their tag.
Because on the same very ground, the state of Bihar went and got the SLP dismissed on the same very ground. One of the state has gone seeking prospective implementation and the SLP was dismissed. It is a part
There
of
is
the
no
compilation.
all
When the
said and
state
done,
of-
there is no
when-
such application.
Madam, one minute,
I'm so sorry.
1 minute, please. 1 minute, please.
You please,
When the
don't
state of
disrupt
Bihar
this.
is already gone, why should the state of MP be given another treatment? Is the
Okay,
question
so
that I
whatever
put myself.
happens in one state, my friend minister state that it will be binding on all other states.
My lord may kindly keep it in the next week. Simply just post it.
We will have to record some of the. We'll make some observation.
I have no problem next week. But just now, Lord, me and Janvi, we have seen that judgment, Lord, that case is listed on 7/3/2024.
Which case?
Same Lord. Why, Lord, unnecessarily every date of
I am sorry. Guddu Singh is about the Siksha Mitras. It is not
Guddu Singh is not.
issue.
The problem is, Lord,
Once you move the application, they will to my life.
very much silent when my learned friend Mr. Shah is addressing.
We are only referring to the transfer petition of the state.
Yeah.
The transportation is not even maintainable.
So that
My Lord is saying next week we have no problem.
Not the Mr. Kalra is not the judge. It's whether it is maintainable or not.
I'm
It's
making
for the
my
Honorable
argument. You
Court.
please, ma'am, please.
who had made this application earlier? There was another application to a preponement. No, that was preponement.
The
Deferment was. Deferment was.
I got one more thing I want to tell you, Lord, because there is one more thing. One application was made, my Lord, before the Supreme Court, in which an allegation was made, Lord, that all those, Lord, who have been appointed already, their appointment should be cancelled. That idea, my learned friend, is not reading. That idea has also been dismissed. That I have filed with my idea 1239. Idea I have filed. Lord, my Lord may just, that has been dismissed.
That is an under post and under post itself.
No. I have filed a copy. No one has filed a copy. I have filed a copy of that order, Lord, and I have made a categorical submission in this idea of mine, Lord. Please see this idea of mine, Lord. In this, they have specifically stated.
My lords, the orders passed by my lords in the past dates would clearly show that what is the conduct of other side, my lords. Because they are in job, it is in their best interest to delay these proceedings. And
Alright.
one or the other ground, every time they will get, my lords. One or the
But
other.
I'm taking strong exception.
My
We have
lords
not asked
will
for
have to
adjournment
take a
even
view.
today.
If my lords will have to take, madam, if you don't let me speak, that is not right, please. I'm not interjecting when you are
Sorry.
speaking.
Want to remain in job, the state want to take them in job, continue them in job despite the fact that Honorable Supreme Court says that they can't teach, they are untrained. And they want to safeguard them.
They are better qualified than you. Also, please see, every time they mention the case of Arnav Malov Ghosh. Kindly see, Arnav Ghosh, they misled this court by getting it recorded in the order sheet. Arnav Ghosh was a case where the appointments were yet to be made. And it was stated before this court that these are the appointees.
Yes.
This is absolutely not incorrect. Firstly, secondly, Bhagwan Krishna's case. Again, they made an incorrect statement in Bhagwan Krishna's case. They did not read the complete prayer clause. Supreme Court not picked up only one clause A. Otherwise, there are clause B, C, and D. B, C, and D, where the specific prayer was made to quash the appointment, that was not entertained, and Supreme Court said the petition stands dismissed in respect of our SLP stands dismissed in respect of other clauses. That was not there. Every time all the efforts are made to
All right. All right. Have you filed your return? That is there.
Yes.
And still you don't want to argue. All right, fine, we'll observe something.
In fact, my lord would consider recording that these are some of the interveners who lost in Supreme Court and have now come as a second chance.
So,
Yeah, acceding to your request, you cannot prevent us from posing certain observations
Very well.
or making it subject to certain conditions. Yeah. Or maybe cost. Or maybe cost. Because the impression that we are getting since the last so many days is that your only intention is to save those B.Ed appointees and not to argue the matter, which is unfortunate. You should argue the matter. If you really want to go and achieve that objective of saving those, argue the matter on their behalf if you want. Otherwise, this transfer petition would not have been filed in the first place. If you had trust in the court, you don't have trust in the court. That means it's as simple as that. Why file a transfer petition then?
the state has the state has to collect 11,000 more than 11,000 appointments have been made.
Right? They are interested in saving the appointees rather than arguing the matter.
It's not a question of saving.
I don't
The state has to keep administrative arrangements also.
No, what is the job of a state council? To argue or to save somebody? Now, please answer the question.
The question,
Please answer the question first.
my submission is.
Please answer the question first. The question is very straight. It has to be yes or no.
The state has to abide by the law. The question would be,
Now, what is that law? Please tell
the
us.
law about please see. The law is not like state as it is being projected. As the Supreme Court said that in Devesh Sharma's case, that the candidates who are having.
So then please argue the matter.
We are ready. We are not.
Don't file transfer petitions.
State, the transfer petition is filed.
The moment you file it, what impression do you give?
transfer petition has been filed, what I can assume not, they might be wanting to avoid conflicting decisions from various courts. It is not that state government does not have any faith in
The decision has come.
not community at my command.
The decision-
Never the intention. of
The
state
decision has come from the Supreme Court. That is the end of the matter. Now only it has to be decided whether they are to be saved or not to be saved. Please argue on that question. It is as simple as that.
In fact, in my humble submission, my lords, whether they are to be saved has also been decided by the Supreme Court. We have put those prayers on record. My lords would just see the
Please.
prayer for a minute.
If,
Then it has been decided for so many
if
states
there
that they
is
are not to
any
be saved.
direction, if there is any direction from the Supreme Court of saving them, please point out.
In
That's
fact, this is
simple.
a direction to the contrary.
no. I'm so sorry. There's not a single
And
case
you
where
can't be
BEd
interjecting me on
candidates have
every.
been
You can't be
ousted.
interjecting me on every statement, please.
I'm not
Let me
interjecting.
complete, please.
My lord, there is not a single order of the Honorable Supreme Court
Alright, so that
ousting a
means
single
you
BEd.
want to distinguish that. Do it. Argue the
Yes,
matter.
no, we are
As
ready.
simple as that.
Once the petitioner finishes, we'll argue. We have no problem.
They don't allow the matter to be started every time there is an
No,
objection.
we never
Whether
did.
it's a pendency of Arnab Ghosh, the last times that I appeared, the plea was taken, Arnab Ghosh is pending. Arnab Ghosh got dismissed, finished, completed out there. Then the plea was taken, Guddu Singh. If we had the opportunity, I would have placed that petition before my lords. It related to Shiksha Mitras and cut off marks for the Shiksha Mitras for those exams. It did not have anything to do with this. Be that as it may, now applications have been filed one way or the other. They just don't want to argue the matter at all because the people are continuing in the jobs.
Let us not go into that.
Patna High Court says all BEd appointees have to be removed from service. This is what the last paragraph of Patna High Court says. So, Bhagwan Krishna was dealing with those who were already appointed.
Patna High Court has
Patna High Court is the state of Bihar.
Clarify that.
Patna High Court has been challenged before the Supreme Court.
Yet candidates cannot consider eligible for
We'll
appointment.
post it. We'll
It
post
has been challenged.
We-
So it's gone to Alfred Town.
Alright.
Defer it for 1
We will post it next week because of the second and they are saying, and also make certain observations on the conduct. The last so many hearings, they are trying to defer. It seems that they are intentionally doing it.
Not my request is that.
Yes.
My lords.
We consider imposing some cost on them, my lords. It should come as a deterrent.
You may also say that you've lost trust in the court.
No, that is not.
So then why transfer petition? Please justify that. No, the issue stands accepted by the Supreme
My
Court.
lords, no. I expect to submission, no, it does not. When-
No, whether a judgment is prospective or it is retrospective can be decided by citing interpretation of statutes, of so many things.
Correct.
There are decisions of Supreme Court. Why to go back to the
From
Supreme Court?
1930 onward.
Yes, why to go back to the Supreme Court?
That's one aspect. But when we will start, one aspect which will come in our return on, is that the entire block of Bihar and Devesh Sharma and all will not come in. That will also not.
The merit part was
No, the factual matters may be different. So please distinguish it.
We do that, but there is one clarification still required, as my learned friend said, that, if the process, if the application is allowed, then all these petitions become academic. I say judicial time. If not, if the sequitur is not what my learned friend is saying that, then he said, it's not an either or. If not, then the secondary, the case law and the constitutionality of it comes in, forefront before man. Therefore, these MIs and these TPs have been moved. I'm praying, we take it up in the next week.
No, we'll do that, but we'll make certain observations against the state's conduct.
Also, we consider imposing some cost on them, my lords. There is a lot of litigation cost the petitioners are suffering without being in job, my lords. And respondents are in job, and that's why it's for their best benefit to delay the matter.
Again and again, he is saying that, my lord, we are not.
I will say whatever I want to, ma'am, please. I will say whatever I want to, please.
Lordship,
You can
my verbal submission card.
make
Lordship,
any allegations against us. We are ready to argue.
state government is
They can be appointed in.
All right, it's past 4:30, so we'll convene tomorrow. But the case will be adjourned for next week with certain observations, certain stingers.
My lord, make that for next week.
My lords, we consider both the state and the interveners on the same boat, my lords. Both have been obstructing to the hearing.
So it's so obvious and palpable. Because you're siding with somebody. You are siding with somebody despite being a state. You are siding with those appointees. You should not be doing it. You should argue the matter. Finish it off. Cite as 100, not 100,000 citations. 1,000 principles of interpretation, whatever. So do it. Let's see.
My lord, before my lord rises, Lord, may I request that my application is allowed only in the Nandan. It may also be allowed in Lord Vijay Kumar Dwivedi.
Because we are opposing any kind of application at this stage.
17229 of 2020. Because I am representing the interests of that person, Lord, who is BEd and who has been appointed in March 2023. Identical application of my learned friend Mr. Vijay, and Lord, my own application in KC Nandan has been allowed.
We'll take that up.
That is IA 17229 of 2020.
We'll take that up on the next hearing. We'll say so.
Would my lords consider saying in the order that no further adjournment, my lords?
Give the numbers of those.
17229.
Write down the slip and give it to the reader. We'll mention in the order. Yes.